Hi, my name is Steve. I've been working in information technology for almost 30 years, that's 3 decades. I built an entire career on Microsoft products, Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Office. But in the recent years, Microsoft has overstepped their bounds with me a few times. So that's probably why you clicked on this video. They did the same with you. First they told you, your computer's not good enough to be upgraded to Windows 11. And then when you got a computer good enough for Windows 11, now all of a sudden it's running slower than your old computer. AI seems to be popping up inside of everything. Everything's co-piloted now. And yeah, I just got sick of it. And you know, Windows 10, they stopped putting out the updates for that, so you can't even roll your computer back to a faster Windows. So I'm going to show you how we can breathe some life into an older computer, and we're going to be installing Linux onto it. I've recently done this with my home computer. When it hit 7 years old, I didn't feel like doing a Windows 11 upgrade and letting Microsoft's little Copilot app overrun my world. So what we have here, first of all, I found this just laying around with a manufacture date of February 2008. So I'm going to take this old laptop, we're going to make a Linux install disk, USB key, and go ahead and install Linux onto this laptop and just see what that looks like, see how it goes, take you on a bit of a tour. Okay, we're going to be installing Linux Mint. If this is your first foray into Linux, I probably would recommend you go with Mint. There's a couple of different versions here. On my desktop, I'm running Cinnamon. Cinnamon's the fully featured, everything's pretty, very wonderful. Needs a bit more grunt. XFCE, that would be the lightweight version for older hardware. So that's the one that we're going to be grabbing for doing the install. Okay, we'll let that download. Okay, we've got our ISO. I've already plugged in a USB key. So just go ahead and right click and make a bootable USB. If you're doing this on Windows, you're going to be needing Rufus. And you know what? It's pretty wizard driven, so it's straightforward. Okay, now it's just starting to install. It'll make the USB key for us. We don't need to do anything else. Well, we're waiting for it to finish making that bootable USB. I have this. It's a spare SSD I had laying around. It's 128 gigs. Probably find something like this used pretty cheap online. We're going to go ahead and stick it in this old laptop. Here we go. There's the laptop with its back off. This is the drive. So someone's already been in here because there's only 2 screws. There we go. Got that SSD in. So yeah, the laptop was free. This was just spare parts laying around. Actually, if you have a look, spare parts. Anyway, I also noted that this guy has 2 4 gig sticks in it, so we've got 8 gigs of RAM in it as well. So this laptop, despite the fact that it's how many years old? 2008? 18 years old. It'll be pretty good. And good news, our USB is ready to go. I really don't like how glossy this screen is because you can see me holding the camera and stuff. Anyway, got the USB key in. Hit the power button, that works. I'll try and interrupt startup. There we go, start Mint. Oh, that's funny. Whatever system this drive came out of didn't shut down properly. That's okay, it's not going to last very long. As soon as this guy fires up, we're going to be trashing the drive and installing a fresh copy of Linux Mint. Okay, now we got some action. Number 1, I just did the math. Yep, this thing is 18 years old. Manufactured 2008 and it's 2026 now. Also, it's finished loading into the install environment at least. The cool thing about Linux is, or at least Linux Mint, when you make the bootable USB, it gives you a full user interface. So if you want, you can just plug in the USB, boot to it, and then you can tinker around and just get a feel for what it's going to be like, whether you want to use this or not. This is a FX 7500 Radeon R7. But of course, for our purposes, we're going to install So we want English keyboard. Nice. It just connected up to Wi-Fi. What's cool about this is when it installs, it will install with that information ready to go. Yes, we want your multimedia codecs. And then we're given two options here. Number one is just erase everything and install Mint, which is what we're going to do. Something else, if you have multiple partitions, you want to do dual boot, you want to tinker around, you want to select a specific partition, you can do all of that under the something else, but for our purposes, because we're going straight Linux on this bad boy, we just hit install now, and then it will say, you sure you want to wipe it? I'm sure I do. Make sure you're sure you do if you say yes. And we need to change the location. Okay, selected our right time zone. Okay, so now everything is filled in. You just need to tell it who you are, what you want to call this computer, pick a username, put in a password, and then figure out if you want to log in automatically or put in a password every time. I'd recommend putting in a password every time because, you know, people love stealing laptops. So while this is installing, if you're wondering why I'm using my phone to record the screen, it's because the HDMI out on this laptop doesn't work until the operating system is fully fired up. So I couldn't show you all of the steps of going through the BIOS and even going through this initial startup stage. It just didn't work. So that's why you get to deal with Moya and the whole phone experience, but you get really good audio. And you might be interested to know that there is plenty of stuff baked right into it. I mean, think about what you honestly do with your computer most of the time. Browse the web, check your emails, and watch movies maybe. So if you want Netflix, you want YouTube, the apps are native. They're right there. You've got Firefox for web browsing. It also comes with LibreOffice baked right in. Freeware replacement for Word, Excel. Outlook is replaced with Thunderbird. That comes bundled with your Firefox. Yeah, it's got built-in music players as well. It's a really full-featured sort of operating system when you go with Mint. And that's why I recommend it as your first one, because it's got almost everything you're going to want right out of the box. There you go, we're done. I'm going to go ahead and restart. So this is a fresh out-the-box Linux Mint. Yeah, we're using less than a gig of memory. Your average Windows, it'll gobble up as much as it possibly can. The CPU's barely breaking a sweat, idling around 3%. Okay, here's our 18-year-old laptop. Now check it out. Fully usable. You know, if you had Windows XP may have shipped on this thing. I think maybe Windows 8 came with it actually. But you know, it's of a vintage. It could have been running XP. You just wouldn't be able to install a modern web browser on it. Here's a modern web browser. We're using Firefox. We're not getting any warnings. All the certificates are up to date. Now let's check this out. Go ahead and open up a video here. Oh, who's that guy? Nice. Oh, yeah. So yeah, 4K video, not a problem whatsoever. Running in Firefox. I'll show you if you want to. It's pretty cute. If you type in Word, it will come up with LibreOffice. And when it fires up, if you've been around computers long enough, it looks an awful lot like the old Microsoft Office. Did you know LibreOffice is a hell of a lot better? Yes, I did. Thank you. Go in, look for Excel, LibreOffice Calc, go ahead and launch that out. You know exactly what this is going to look like. It's Excel, it's a spreadsheet. All the same functions. Save Excel files, open Excel files. It's all here and it is all free. Only thing is, you don't get Outlook, you get Thunderbird instead. You don't get Edge, you get Firefox. And if you don't want to use these baked-in apps, you've got the software manager here. Now this is the real killer app for these modern Linux distros, is there is so much better support. You're not going to be messing around downloading source files and trying to compile them and all of the nonsense that used to happen back in the day. This is the most Windows/Mac-like experience now. Linux is so mature. Okay, we have everything here. You need a WhatsApp client. You need a Dropbox client. You want to play Spotify. You need Discord. All of it is here. Most of the freeware you've heard of and probably used, like VLC on Windows, it all originated on Linux. It is all here. Your favorite FTP client, FileZilla. If I'm saying names and they sound familiar, of course they do. They're apps you use all the time, and they're all apps that are right here. If we bring up Shotcut, it is a video editor, and you know what? I'm going to be using Shotcut to splice this video together when we're done. Probably not going to do it on this laptop, but I will be using Shotcut. GIMP has been my photo editor of choice for, 18 years probably, for as long as this laptop's existed. And yeah, go ahead, grab GIMP. It's so easy. You just hit install. It says, are you sure you want to install this? You hit yes. Off it goes. It'll just download it. It'll install it for you automatically. You don't need to know a bunch of stuff. Like I said, Linux is now every bit as easy as Windows to use. If you've been curious, go ahead, give it a go. I'm going to stop talking, but if you go ahead and you check in the description, I'm going to put in links. There'll be links for downloading the ISOs. There'll be some links for downloading Rufus if you're on Windows and need to make the USB key. If you're on Linux, super easy. Just right-click on the ISO and say, make me. Stay tuned. We're going to come out with some more videos. There's going to be more content. Maybe I'll find an even older laptop to try and get Linux running on. But for now, this guy, perfect. And yeah, you tell me, do you think this is a usable computer? Comment.